Senate approves $500 million loan for improved electricity. House of Representatives advocates for more enlightenment campaign on Cybercrimes Act by stakeholders. And KB State House of Assembly commences local government budget defense for grassroots development. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News, coming to you from the capital city of Abuja. I am Praise Nwachuku. The financial and technical performance of electricity companies for improved supply of electricity is being boosted as Senate approves a $500 million loan request for the Bureau of Public Enterprise. The money will be invested in procurement of electricity meters for Nigerians. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the approval is in line with the request of the President under the 2022 to 2024 external rolling borrowing plan.
The approval is as recommended by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts. The $500 million loan is to facilitate financing and technical performance of distribution companies in the Nigeria Distribution Sector Recovery Program. Senate, however, requested for the terms and conditions of the loan being sourced from the World Bank. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has communicated Senate seeking confirmation of Emomoti Miyagama as the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, while Fana Chukwugo, Bola Jomale and Semiya Usman to serve as commissioners.
Please accept the distinguished Senate President and distinguished senators the assurances of my highest consideration and personal regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
A bill to establish Federal Polytechnic Onueke in Ebonyi State, sponsored by Senator Kenneth Eze, passed second reading.
It is not only justifiable from an economic standpoint, but aligned with the broad vision of the federal government's renewed hope agenda on education, which is skill development for all levels of education.
Beyond this bill, and this is significant if this nation must move forward, the federal government to establish a federal polytechnic in each senatorial district.
Also passed at second reading is the bill to amend the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria Act to involve states and the Federal Capital Territory in key aspects of the exercise.
Selection of airlines for Hajj operations, as well as allow states and FCT to manage accommodation and feeding of pilgrims in Medina and Mashair as may be regulated by NACON.
Against the backdrop of the fact that you cannot be a regulator and operator at the same time.
The number of people that attend Hajj every year from Nigeria is very high. And for those of us that have attended 1, 2, 3 times, you know that always compendium of problems in terms of accommodation, in terms of feeding.
If state is taking care of their own pilgrims, the money they paid, nobody will rip them off of their money. And we will know that it will now be a collective responsibility.
Financial autonomy for local governments was among motions at Wednesday's sitting that enjoyed bipartisan support of lawmakers. It was raised by Senator Kawu Sumaila.
We believe that empowering local government holds the key to unlocking a brighter future for Nigeria.
We can solve what is happening in our country today. It's to return local government money 100% to the local government council.
Over 17 local states in this country are operating the caretaker committee.
So further with the allocation of funds to caretaker committee, led local government areas. Those in favor of the prayer, please say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate has urged authorities to investigate and arrest those behind killings of some persons in Enugu State, as moved by Senator Okechukwu Ezia. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And now good news coming from the Green Chambers. This is because the House is calling on the Ministry of Transportation to commence the construction of the rail line from Itakpe in Kogi State to Abuja, the nation's capital. At Wednesday's plenary, members also urged the Central Bank of Nigeria and Office of the National Security Advisor to carry further enlightenment campaign on the Cybercrimes Act. National Assembly correspondent Mitairo Ikpen reports on these and other resolutions at plenary.
As Nigerians enjoy the services of the Itakpe-Warri rail line, lawmakers express worry over delay in execution of the Itakpe-Abuja component 3 years after the contract has been awarded.
To urge the Ministry of Transport to ensure immediate execution of the contract that was awarded in this respect. To mandate the Committee on Land Transport to investigate the reasons for the non-execution of the contract and ensure immediate execution of it. That's the Itakpe to Abuja rail line. Also mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance.
The House stressed the need for more enlightenment on the provisions of the Cybercrime Act, clarifying that lawmakers were not against a law enacted by Parliament, but against ambiguity in the CBN's circular on the cyber security levy.
The levy does not apply to ordinary Nigerians, but only to the establishment listed in the second schedule of the Act. And these establishments are GSM service providers and all telecommunication companies, internet service providers, banks and other financial institutions, insurance companies, and Nigerian Stock Exchange.
A call for investigation into the condition of aircraft in the presidential air fleet stirred up debate among lawmakers. The House asked its Committee on National Security and Intelligence to carry out that investigation.
Detailed explanation of why the fleet is not operating optimum capacity needed to guarantee the presidential corridor safety.
That the Vice President will take a commercial flight somewhere, in spite of the number of aircraft we have in the fleet, is amazing.
But invite NSA if you have to. Invite the commandant in charge of the air fleet. We're talking about the #1 citizen of the country. His security is very important to us.
A bill to amend the Court of Appeal Act 2004 passed second reading.
To increase the number of justices from 90 to a minimum of 150 justices in line with current realities.
Meanwhile, a bill for an act to establish Institute of Chartered Corporate and Business Affairs Management of Nigeria also scaled second reading. From the National Assembly, Mitairo Ikpen, NTA News.
Barao Jibrin, the Deputy Senate President, inaugurates a newly renovated room 120 of the Senate, a new building, for the purpose of advancing the legislative commitment of the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petition. And this is just as the Imashim Bernard's Champion Committee dismissed 2 cases bordering on alleged termination of appointments levied against the National Council of Arts and Culture and the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide is standing by for details.
Remembering the purpose of your renovation to create a comfortable and loving space were the words of the Deputy Senate President at the inauguration. Room 120 of the Senate building was renovated for legislative duties of the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petition.
What you've done now is unprecedented. There's no committee room that has been so organized and so modernized, just like this, just like what you had here. No office, no way.
In the meantime, one Joseph Akpan had earlier petitioned the committee based on an allegation that the National Council for Arts and Culture didn't follow the civil service rule before terminating his appointment owing to an alleged absence in office. Having served the query and received an estimated severance allowance around 400,000 naira in 2008, which he had denied previously, the committee dismissed the case for lacking merit.
You voted 470,000 in 2008. What's the value as of today? Are you paying the money with today's value? Or we are paying 400,000 as you collected?
Well, I will pay, if I pay as today's value, I should also be promoted to where I'm supposed to be as at today.
I will dismiss this case and and will forgive you for lying on oath. And will use this as some warning to others who are listening to us here. If this repeats itself, we may have to take a very serious action against those who come here and lie on oath. That's the decision of this committee.
The committee also dismissed a petition filed by one Peter Nwalaka, who had prayed the Senate to direct the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation to reinstate his appointment. The Office of the Auditor General of the Federation explained that the said former auditor, who was on posting to the Federal Civil Service Commission, was dismissed, having been found guilty of job racketeering, issues of fake employment letters, as well as breach of contract.
Only Federal Civil Service Commission has a core mandate of appointment, promotion, and discipline. And after evaluating his matter, they deemed it fit for him to be dismissed from service. So at no point did Office of the Auditor General for the Federation deliberately or intentionally dismissed him from service.
Your prayers, your petition has failed. And we are so sorry that we're not able to help you. And that's the decision of this committee.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogujde, NTA News.
And to discuss the National Assembly and 25 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria, we have joining us ranking member of the House of Representatives, Francis Ejiro-Ogene Waive, who represents Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Uju Federal Constituency from Delta State. He's also the chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Waive. Well, as chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business, how would you say the National Assembly has fared these past 25 years of sustained democracy? Has there been measurable progress, and what will be your yardstick for that access and progress?
I believe the National Assembly is maturing. It's much more matured than it was in 1999 when the Fourth Republic started. And if you look at everything that has happened from the First Assembly right on down to this 10th Assembly, you will come to that conclusion that we are maturing, we've done a lot. I remember in 99, the set of 99 to 2003 to 2007, they were able to do one major thing, which was to veto Mr. President's, the NDDC bill I'm referring to that Mr. President didn't sign at that time. You know, that was an act of maturity that a law can come into effect without presidential assent. That's an evidence that the legislature is doing well. And of course, you know, the legislature was the arm of government that stopped the third term, you know, refused to amend the Constitution and all of that. And if you come on from all that, you will see the progress that the legislature has made in terms of capacity building, in terms of being able to make laws for the good governance of our country, in terms of, look at the constitutional amendments that have been done. The National Assembly has really matured over the years, except for the high turnover of members. Our constituents, the general populace, still think that, like the executive arm of government, we are entitled to just 2 terms. So there's that idea that, oh, you've done your 2 terms, go away. Or there's this idea of this part of the constituency or district has done its time, goes to the next. But all that helps to reduce the benefits of institutional memory, capacity building that has taken place. In the United States and other mature democracies, you find people who have been in parliament 30 years, thereabout. But all that apart, we have matured. You find that the banana peel is no longer there. At one time, our leadership would change every 3-6 months. Now you have people running full tenures as presiding officers, even 2 tenures. We have seen that happen in our democracy. So maturing is taking place. And then you see take the PIB that has become the PIA, the Petroleum Industry Act. For a number of parliaments of the assemblies, we couldn't come to a compromise. But maturity has come in, and we're able to cross ethnic lines, regional lines, party lines, and in the Ninth Assembly, that was passed into law. So if you look at all of these, you find that the National Assembly is growing. And then you look at the infrastructure that has also come into being over these years. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies is a testimony to that. And that has been a help to parliamentarians and our aides as we do this job, you know, and several other things. The recent one now is the library, the National Assembly Library, which is coming into effect. So many things are going on, and we thank God that we have parliamentarians now that can stand it. Their colleagues anywhere in the world. In fact, as we travel and do parliamentary visits to observe what is happening in other parliaments, and other parliamentarians also come here. And as we compare notes, prepare review, comparing parliamentary practices, the conclusion is that the Nigerian parliament is maturing.
The cost of governance has been a burning issue, so much that a group of lawmakers in this 10th Assembly are canvassing a return to a parliamentary system of government. Is that the panacea? Is it about the system being practiced or the people practicing the system?
I completely disagree with those honorable members who brought up that bill. But in a democracy, everybody must have their say. And then the majority will have their way. So as chairman rules and business, I didn't allow my personal prejudices. I still listed that bill to be debated to be listed on the floor for first reading, and then we'll go on to second reading. I do not believe that the parliamentary system of government will be better for our country, or even cheaper for our country to run. The major cost that is huge in governance does not come from the system we operate. You look at the country today, we have over 1,000 parastatals of government, agencies and departments of government, over 1,000. If you look at the Orisai report, at that time, we were just talking about 300, and the report was saying it was too much. Now we're about 1,000. So you have to replicate management, middle level, and all of that. And you talk of all the things that go with that, vehicle, staffing, and all that. Those are the issues. The system of government per se is not our problem. We tried parliamentary in the First Republic, and we all know the results. Regionalism got to the point where it was ethnicism. It wasn't good. And you know that if you run a parliamentary system, you're going to have a shadow government also. The members of cabinet are also members of parliament. And in that case, so it's not difficult to, in the presidential system where you have to summon a minister. Now the minister is with you in parliament. That's a convenience. But it's not a reduction in cost as far as I can see. And I don't think that the problem is with the system we operate. The problem really is with the people who operate it. If you bring parliamentary or presidential or any kind, we'll still have the same people with the same mindset. We're going to end up at the same point. For me as a person, I would prefer what South Africa have done, Ghana have done. They have married the presidential system with the parliamentary system and with their own indigenous ideas of how governance should be. I think that may be what we'll work on. But before we get there, the Nigerian people must get to that point where we love our country, where we own our country, where we can deal with this matter of corruption and lawlessness. If all that is done, the system we operate will not be the issue, my brother. That's the way I look at it.
It's time to pause for some messages. The news continues with stories from the state assemblies shortly.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-4 78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You're watching Parliamentary News reaching you from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. You can follow the platforms on the screen for more updates. Local government councils in Kebbi State have begun appearing before the State House of Assembly to defend their 2024 budgets. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the Speaker of Kebbi State House of Assembly, Muhammad Usman Zuru, describes the event as a crucial moment of working together to sanitize the local government area planned annual spending. The report.
Baguda Shanga Yawuri in Gaski and Birnin Kebbi are the 5 local government area councils who appeared before the House Committee on Finance and Appropriation on the second day of the budget defense. Birnin Kebbi local government presented the highest budget among the 5, tabling over 7.3 billion naira as its 2024 appropriation. The Chairman House Committee on Finance and Appropriation, Adam Muhammad Birnin Yawudi, charged the remaining local governments yet to appear before the House to ensure clarity in the summary of their budgets before coming for the exercise.
How you arrange the summary of capital expenditure, you should also have arranged the summary of the current expenditure.
Corrections, recommendations, and suggestions were made by the House Committee in the course of the exercise.
Where observation fall about, they tell us what to go and do so that we can put the location, such as dispensaries, market, stores, source, and so forth.
The adjustments are minor, so definitely today we may likely effect the correction. So by tomorrow morning we just submitted it.
And the observations are not in our proposed budget. And inshallah.
10 local government areas have so far appeared before the House for the exercise. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Bills seeking for a law to establish 4 new government agencies have passed second reading at the Jigawa State Assembly. Ibrahim Sani reports that Governor Umar Namadi submitted a drafted bill to the Jigawa State Assembly requesting for a law to establish the new agencies as well as upgrade and streamline the functions of others. The Delta State House of Assembly has suspended member representing Ugeli North 1 State Constituency, Matthew Omonade, for 14 legislative days. The State Assembly during plenary also passed the Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2022 and Delta State Administration of Civil Justice Law 2022 into law. Assembly correspondent Godfrey Nzekwe reports.
Presenting the motion at the floor of the House on the breach of privilege in line with the standing order of the House by the Majority Leader, Emeka Ngobi, seconded by the Chief Whip and member representing Surplus State Constituency, Perkins Omukoro, called for the suspension of Matthew Omonade for 14 legislative days for gross misconduct and to hand over to the management of the House all government property in his possession.
The person to publish any defamatory statement reflecting on the proceedings or character of the House. And whereas the Honourable Member representing women of one state constituency willfully and forcefully converted the proceedings of House of Wednesday, 8 May 2024. Therefore, I move that 1. The Honourable Member representing women of one state constituency be now suspended by the service of the House for a period of 14 legislative days for gross misconduct. 2. The Honourable Member representing women of one state constituency hands over to the management of the House all government properties in his possession.
The motion has moved by the Majority Leader, seconded by the Chief Whip, that this Honourable House suspend the Honourable Member representing women of one state constituency from the service of the House for a period of 14 legislative days for gross misconduct. The Honourable Member representing women one state constituency hand over to the management of the House all government properties in his possession, and an ad hoc committee be constituted to investigate the gross misconduct by the Honourable Member representing women of one state constituency. Say aye. Those against say the ayes are.
The House also passed the Delta State Administration of Criminal Justice Amendment Law and the Delta State Civil Justice Amendment Law after a thorough review.
Delta State Administration of Civil Justice Law 2022 and for related matters. John Reading and Pass.
Dear colleagues, I thank all of you for ensuring the successful passage of the Delta State Administration of Civil Justice Amendment Bill 2024 as Bill 14. By virtue of this bill, the 12 months transition period relating to case management originally provided in section 48 sub 1, 64 sub 1, and 65 sub 3 has been extended to 24 months to enable adequate time for the setting up of necessary machinery for the smooth and full implementation of the law.
The Speaker, Emomochimi Guo, commended the lawmakers for the speedy passage. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
Well, that is the size of our bulletin. I am Praise Nwachuku, your guide. Thank you for watching.